Hello again. So, we just had the Tomb Raider movie come out a few weeks ago, and coming up soon is Rampage, starring Dwayne Johnson. Neither of them are going to be good, and it's got me thinking, video game movies are never good. Ever. Yeah, the Tomb Raider movie that just came out is probably the best one we've ever had. So I'm wondering, why are they all bad? And what would it take to make a good one? So, in my infinite wisdom, I've made a list of 7 video games that I think you might be able to make into a good movie. I noticed that most video games that have already been turned into movie are either action, horror, or fighting games, which get turned into a big stupid action movie, which is terrible, or cute kids games, which get turned into an animated film that's terrible. Angry Birds, Ratchet and Clank, the Mario Brothers movie from ages ago. So I've tried to deviate from that a bit. Hopefully we hit something good. Got a few ideas for how we would do these. Let's just see how it goes. Number 1, Katamari Damacy. It's weird. It's like a really weird game. Of course, the gameplay is not going to translate. You can't have the theatre-going audience rolling up everything into a big ball. That's not what matters. What matters is the style of the game. So basically, if you don't know, the king of all cosmos goes out on a mad one and he loses a bunch of planets or something. So he gets his son, the prince, to roll up a bunch of stuff into big balls so he can put them in space. That's the basic premise. So you just need to keep that loose framework kind of thing, and you can just mess about with it. My pitch: we get Jeff Goldblum to be the king of all cosmos. He's already a really eccentric guy in the game. Put Jeff in that role, it'll really shine and be really weird. I think this one will really work because if you know a little bit about video games, you might have heard about this game because it's really weird and bizarre. It's heavily stylized, so that'll translate well into the style of the movie. And I think it's interesting enough to get people who aren't into games to go see the film. I think that's what really matters when you're putting one of these together. Okay, so when I was putting this list together, I thought, what could get a bunch of people to go to the cinema? Brand recognition. So I took a look at the top selling video games ever, and at number 4, it's Wii Sports. I'm pitching the Wii Sports movie. So you're probably thinking, Tom, you're crazy. How can you make a movie out of Wii Sports? Well, have you seen Cloud Atlas? So we get the Wachowskis in. We get them to make 5 different stories based on different Wii Sports games. Tennis, bowling, golf, baseball, boxing. Like in Cloud Atlas, they do it by theme. Freedom comes up a lot, and that'll resonate throughout all of the timelines in Cloud Atlas. We can do that, but it's a sports movie. There's 5 different sports going on. At the same point in all 5 sports, maybe the protagonist of each of those stories is losing. There's a rival in them that's cheating, and that resonates throughout all the stories. We can have the same actors in all of the different bits. Here's a pitch for an interesting cinema-going experience. The whole film uses Mii characters, like you would make on Wii Sport. And when you go to the cinema, you submit your own Mii, and you could be in the film. That kind of sounds like something they do at Disneyland or Legoland or something. But yeah, I think it's weird enough that it could work. Wii Sports is a big property. That's what corporate people like to hear. Oh, that was hot. Okay, this next one's probably the most obvious thing I've got on here. Eco, or Shadow of the Colossus. They've got a very distinctive style. They're sparse, but otherworldly in how they're done. And I'm mainly picking these out because I already have a director in mind to do it. I want Guillermo del Toro to direct these films. He loves doing weird creature design and taking these monsters that wouldn't get as much respect as they do in a Del Toro movie. A character like Eco with his horns, he's a weird chap. I think Del Toro loves that kind of stuff. I think he'd be well down for this. Those are games that are fan favourites. They recently did the Shadow of the Colossus remaster, so there's a renewed interest. So this next one, I've also picked for style reasons. I don't have a director in mind or anything. This one's probably going to have to be an animated film. Parappa the Rapper. So if you don't know what Parappa the Rapper is, it's considered to be the first rhythm game. Came out on PS1. It's all about a rapping dog. It also has the most conventional story structure. It's already in movie form. Parappa is trying to impress this girl, and he achieves all of the things he achieves in the game through rapping. So it'll be a musical. It'll be a romantic musical animated comedy. Does that exist? The only thing I can think of that's kind of similar is Strange Magic, that terrible George Lucas film. We'll have rap numbers, a cute dog as the main character, a dude with an onion for a head. It's weird, and it's interesting, and it could work. Obviously, we get Will Smith to play Parappa, and he'll write a Will Smith song for the film, like Men in Black or Wild Wild West. Someone get in touch with Will Smith. Sell this idea to Sony. What number are we even on? Is this number 5? I feel like this is number 5. I was looking through games that I've played, and I caught one. Hotline Miami. It's violent. It's got this crazy, like, 80s style to it. Neon lights and everything. I think it would make a decent Tarantino movie. Kind of like Kill Bill. Kill Bill's got that, like, video game structure to it. Hotline Miami's also got, like, kind of, like, weird psychological thing to it with the different masks. That could actually translate well to a film. I don't think it worked that well in the game. I think that's a proper film idea. My one problem with Tarantino is it always goes over the top in the end with the violence. With this, we would keep the violence at an over the top level for the whole film, as well as have like the classic Tarantino dialogue. It's really good. And number 6, I think we're on now. Brutal Legend. Brutal Legend is a game by Double Fine. They made Psychonauts and a bunch of other stuff. They make good games. It's about a roadie for this metal band. He's kind of lamenting the death of metal. These younger bands are coming up and he doesn't like them very much. He's voiced by Jack Black, who we'd obviously just get to be in the film. He gets killed during a concert and he gets transported to this like metal world where everything's like based on heavy metal album covers. Metal, weird fonts, blood, demons. It's pretty cool style-wise. There's a good amount of comedy in it. Ozzy Osbourne voices a character. I just think it's really cool and it could work. Jack Black will be down because this is totally his thing and he voiced the character in the game. That game's worth playing. Worth having a look at least. Number 7, I've got Mirror's Edge. For those who don't know, Mirror's Edge is a free-running game. Must have come out about 10 years ago now. Follows this courier in this dystopian future. It's got this great style to it. Everything's very white, but there's these spots of like bright colour on buildings. She's constantly running along rooftops. You get this great lighting. Be really cool. The game follows the murder of this politician who's going to try and like help out the people who are a bit lower down in society who've really been struggling in this future. So they get murdered, the main character gets framed for it, she's on the run, and she has to like find evidence to prove her innocence. There's not too much to the story, but it could work movie-wise. Like there's enough there to build a stronger film out of. The free running sets itself up for a lot of cool action sequences, and I was thinking, recently I saw the music video for Beck's Colours song, directed by Edgar Wright. That made me think that he would be really good to direct a movie like this, especially after like Baby Driver. That had some really well choreographed to the music action scenes, and that could work really well in this kind of film with free running. Just want to chuck out my pitch for lead actress. I think Duna Bay will be really great. So those are just like 7 ideas I came up with quickly, and I wanted to get them out. Maybe I'll keep thinking on this, because I think you can make a good video game movie. Just no one's done it yet. No one's really been trying. Stop giving these films to Uwe Boll. If you've got any ideas, chuck them in the comments. I deliberately avoided stuff like The Last of Us and the Telltale games, because those are obviously going to make decent films because they're quite strong story-wise. I was trying to think of something maybe a bit off the beaten track. But let me know your ideas, and I'll see you later. Have a good one. Bye.